We spread word the Inquisition was coming. But you should know that no one here was expecting us.
No one? Not even Grand Enchanter Fiona?
If she was, she hasn't told anyone. We've arranged use of the tavern for the negotiations.
Agents of the Inquisition, my apologies. Magister Alexius is in charge now, but hasn't yet arrived. He's expected shortly. You can speak with the former Grand Enchanter in the meantime.
Are you Connor?
You've heard the story, I guess. I can't believe King Alistair thought Redcliffe was the right place to send the mages. I mean, he grew up here. Did he think they would just forget what I did to them?
You were behind the siege of Redcliffe 10 years ago.
That's me. The boy with Redcliffe's blood on his hands.
Weren't you possessed? It wasn't you who did those things.
Wasn't it? I let the demon in. Sometimes when I dream, I remember what happened. I see the death and destruction, and it's me. It's all me.
Why isn't Al-Eamon in power anymore?
After the Landsmeet, he stayed in Denerim. I couldn't be his heir, not after what happened. So eventually he passed the title to Uncle Tegan.
How did you end up in the Mage Rebellion?
I was living in the Ferelden Tower when the Circles dissolved. I voted against it, but at first it seemed all right. No one was summoning demons. They just wanted to oversee themselves. But then the Magister came, and it's wrong what they do in Tevinter. We are monsters. We need to be controlled. If it wasn't for me, every family in this village wouldn't be missing a son, a daughter, a spouse.
You're not in favor of the alliance with Tevinter?
Alliance? Is that what they're calling it? That Magister threw my uncle out into the street. He signed us into servitude. This is my home. Redcliffe, Ferelden. No matter what evils I've done, I would never have invited Tevinter here.
I need to be going.
Please, talk some sense into the Grand Enchanter. Selling out to the Imperium won't win us any friends. We have to find a way to make peace.
Welcome, agents of the Inquisition. What has brought you to Redcliffe?
We're here because of your invitation back in Val Royeaux.
You must be mistaken. I haven't been to Val Royeaux since before the Conclave.
There is no mistake. While the Templars were leaving, you came to Val Royeaux and asked me here.
The Templars left Val Royeaux? Where did they go? That sounds... Why does that sound so strange? Whoever or whatever brought you here, the situation has changed. The Free Mages have already pledged themselves to the service of the Tevinter Imperium.
I understand that you are afraid, but you deserve better than slavery to Tevinter.
As one indentured to a Magister, I no longer have the authority to negotiate with you.
An alliance with Tevinter is a terrible mistake.
All hope of peace died with Justinia. This bargain with Tevinter would not have been my first choice, but we had no choice. We are losing this war. I needed to save as many of my people as I could.
Welcome, my friends. I apologize for not greeting you earlier.
Agents of the Inquisition, allow me to introduce Magister Girion Alexius.
The Southern Mages are under my command. And you are the survivor, yes? The one from the Fade? Interesting.
I haven't seen any sign of Redcliffe's Arl or his men.
The Arl of Redcliffe left the village.
Left? An Arl would never voluntarily leave his seat.
There were tensions growing. I did not want an incident.
I'd like to know more about this alliance between the rebel mages and the Imperium.
Certainly. What specifically do you wish to know?
I'm not clear on when exactly you negotiated this arrangement with Fiona.
When the Conclave was destroyed, these poor souls faced the brutality of the Templars, who rushed to attack them. It could only be through divine providence that I arrived when I did.
It was certainly very timely.
The Grand Enchanter told me she was indentured to a Magister.
Our southern brethren have no legal status in the Imperium. As they were not born citizens of Tevinter, they must work for a period of 10 years before gaining full rights. As their protector, I shall oversee their work for the Imperium.
You're quite a long way from Tevinter, Alexius.
Indeed I am, though I have heard you are no Ferelden either. It seems we are both strangers here. Felix, would you send for a scribe, please? Pardon my manners. My son Felix, friends. I'm not surprised you're here. Containing the breach is not a feat that many could even attempt. There is no telling how many mages would be needed for such an endeavor. Ambitious, indeed.
Does that mean you'll lend your mages to our cause?
There will have to be. Felix.
I'm so sorry. Please forgive my clumsiness, my lady.
Are you all right?
I'm fine, Father.
Come, I'll get your powders. Please excuse me, friends. We will have to continue this another time. Fiona, I require your assistance back at the castle.
I don't mean to trouble everyone.
I shall send word to the Inquisition. We will conclude this business at a later date.
Come to the Chantry. You are in danger.
Good. You're finally here. Now help me close this, would you? Fascinating. How does that work exactly? You don't even know, do you? You just wiggle your fingers and boom. Rift closes.
Who are you?
Ah, getting ahead of myself again, I see. Dorian of House Parvus, most recently of Minrathous. How do you do? Magister Alexius was once my mentor, so my assistance should be valuable, as I'm sure you can imagine.
Are you a Magister?
All right, let's say this once. I'm a mage from Tevinter, but not a member of the Magisterium. I know Southerners use the terms interchangeably, but that only makes you sound like barbarians.
I was expecting Felix to be here.
I'm sure he's on his way. He was to give you the note, then meet us here after ditching his father.
Alexius couldn't jump to Felix's side fast enough when he pretended to be faint. Is something wrong with him?
He's had some lingering illness for months. Felix is an only child, and Alexius is being a mother hen, most likely.
You're betraying your mentor because...
Alexius was my mentor. Meaning he's not any longer, not for some time. Look, you must know there's danger. That should be obvious even without the note. Let's start with Alexius claiming the allegiance of the mage rebels out from under you. As if by magic, yes? Which is exactly right. To reach Redcliffe, before the Inquisition, Alexius distorted time itself.
He arranged it so he could arrive here just after the Divine died.
You catch on quick.
That is fascinating if true, and almost certainly dangerous.
The rift you closed here. You saw how it twisted time around itself, sped some things up and slowed others down. Soon, there will be more like it, and they'll appear further and further away from Redcliffe. The magic Alexius is using is wildly unstable, and it's unraveling the world.
You're asking me to take a lot on faith.
I know what I'm talking about. I helped develop this magic. When I was still his apprentice, it was pure theory. Alexius could never get it to work. What I don't understand is why he's doing it, ripping time to shreds just to gain a few hundred lackeys.
He didn't do it for them.
Took you long enough. Is he getting suspicious?
No, but I shouldn't have played the illness card. I thought he'd be fussing over me all day. My father's joined a cult, Tevinter Supremacists. They call themselves Venatori. And I can tell you one thing. Whatever he's done for them, he's done it to get to you.
Alexius is your father. Why are you working against him?
For the same reason Dorian works against him. I love my father, and I love my country. But this? Cults? Time magic? What he's doing now is madness. For his own sake, you have to stop him.
It would also be nice if he didn't rip a hole in time. There's already a hole in the sky.
Why would he rearrange time and indenture the Mage Rebellion just to get to me?
They're obsessed with you, but I don't know why. Perhaps because you survived the Temple of Sacred Ashes.
You can close the rifts. Maybe there's a connection. Or they see you as a threat.
If the Venatori are behind those rifts or the breach in the sky, they're even worse than I thought.
All this for me? And here I didn't get Alexius anything.
Send him a fruit basket. Everyone loves those. You know you're his target. Expecting the trap is the first step in turning it to your advantage. I can't stay in Redcliffe. Alexius doesn't know I'm here, and I want to keep it that way for now. But whenever you're ready to deal with him, I want to be there. I'll be in touch. Oh, and Felix, try not to get yourself killed.
There are worse things than dying, Dorian.
We don't have the manpower to take the castle. Either we find another way in, or give up this nonsense and go and get the Templars.
Redcliffe is in the hands of a Magister. This cannot be allowed to stand.
The letter from Alexius asked for the Herald of Andraste by name. It's an obvious trap.
We can't waste time fighting among ourselves. We have to come to an agreement.
A Tevinter Magister controls Redcliffe, invites us to the castle to talk, and some of us want to do nothing.
Not this again.
Redcliffe Castle is one of the most defensible fortresses in Ferelden. It has repelled thousands of assaults. If you go in there, you'll die, and we'll lose the only means we have of closing these rifts. I won't allow it.
And if we don't even try to meet Alexius, we lose the mages and leave a hostile foreign power on our doorstep.
Even if we could assault the keep, it would be for naught. An Orlesian Inquisition's army marching into Ferelden would provoke a war. Our hands are tied.
The Magister
has outplayed us.
Fine. We go get the Templars and they help us deal with Alexius.
My spies report the mages have already mobilized for war. Even if we succeed at recruiting the Templars, it will be too late to stop Alexius.
We cannot accept defeat now. There must be a solution.
Where is the Earl of Redcliffe? I'm sure he'd help us get his castle back.
After he was displaced, Arl Tegan rode straight for Dunrim to petition the Crown for help. I doubt he'll want our assistance once the Ferelden army lays siege to his castle.
Wait. There is a secret passage into the castle, an escape route for the family. It's too narrow for our troops, but we could send agents through.
Too risky. Those agents will be discovered well before they reach the Magister.
That's why we need a distraction. Perhaps the envoy Alexius wants so badly.
Focus their attention on Trevelyan, while we take out the Tevinters. It's risky, but it could work.
Fortunately, you'll have help.
This man says he has information about the Magister and his methods, Commander.
Your spies will never get past Alexius's magic without my help. So if you're going after him, I'm coming along.
The plan puts you in the most danger. We can't in good conscience order you to do this. We can still go after the Templars if you'd rather not play the bait. It's up to you. The Templars must help us close the breach. The Order was founded to fight magic.
We must first convince the Lord Seeker to bring the Templars out of exile.
We've received word from a knight recruit. They gather at Theronfall Redoubt.
It has been vacant for decades. Why go there?
We must approach the Lord Seeker again to get anywhere. We can ask him then.
If we present a plan to seal the breach, the Templars may ally with us.
First, we must prove ourselves a more attractive prospect.
If it's status the Lord Seeker seeks, the Inquisition will approach him after allying with the noblest houses in Orlais.
They'll come with us to Theronfall and demand the Templars' help close the breach.
You believe that will work?
Even the Lord Seeker would find it difficult to ignore so many nobles on his doorstep.
Yes, especially when led by the Herald of Andraste.
If it stops the sky from ripping open, I'm listening.
Rumors you were saved from the fate by Andraste have grown legion among the Templars.
We've done our part to encourage them.
A herald with a few companions may be dismissed, easily set aside. That same herald returning with noble support will be reconsidered, as will the power of the Inquisition.
This could be why Andraste saved me, to lead her Templars against the breach.
Perhaps also to convince the Lord Seeker to abandon the mania that has seized him.
With respect, after his appearance in Val Royeaux, hang what the Lord Seeker thinks.
We do not need the Lord Seeker. We need his Templars, with or without his approval. The breach will not wait for our differences to settle.
The Herald of Andraste! Lord Esmerel Abernash, honored to participate. It is not unlike the second dispersal of the reclaimed Dales. Ah, Lady Vivienne, we met at last summer's ball. The Duke introduced us.
Indeed. I could not possibly forget the occasion.
The Lord Seeker is willing to hear our petition about closing the breach. A credit to our alliance with the Inquisition. Care to mark the moment? 10 Orlesian houses walk with you.
It's a shining day to have the best of Orlais in step with the Inquisition. The first of many inspirational and influential partnerships, I hope.
Oh, you're a natural. People will give you anything. Speaking of which, I don't suppose you'd divulge what finally got their attention. Rumor will, if you won't.
What do you mean?
The Lord Seeker won't meet us until he greets the Inquisition in person. Quite a surprise after the spat in Val Royeaux.
The Inquisition only asks the Lord Seeker help us close the breach.
Then it's all been arranged by your ambassador. Let the diplomats work their magic if you trust them. Between you and I, the Chantry never took advantage of their Templars. Wiser heads should steer them. Here we are, Therinfall Redoubt.
They could hold off an army here, if one ever came.
It appears they've sent someone to greet you. Present well. Everyone is a little tense for my liking.
I present Knight Templar, Sir Delrin Barris, second son of Ban Jevrin Barris of Ferelden. Sir Barris, may I be so honored as to present Lord Esmerel Abernash?
I'm the one who sent word to Cullen. He said the Inquisition works to close this breach in the Vale. I didn't think you'd bring such lofty company.
Paris. Moderate holdings, your family. And the second son?
This promise of status has garnered interest from the Lord Seeker. Beyond sense. The sky burns with magic, but he ignores all calls to action until your friends arrive.
Will the Templars stand with the Inquisition against the breach?
Only if we're allowed to leave, and uphold our pledge. The Lord Seeker's actions make no sense. He promised to restore the Order's honor, then marched us here to wait. Templars should know their duty, even when held from it.
About time one of you gobs said that.
Win over the Lord Seeker, and every able-bodied knight will help the Inquisition seal the breach.
That's why the Inquisition came, Sir Barris.
I'd tell you your chances, but the officers are a mystery lately. We've been asked to accept much after that shameful display in Valroyo. Our truth changes on the hour.
Don't keep your betters waiting, Barris. There's important work for those born to it.
The Lord Seeker has a request before you meet him. These are the standards. An honored right, centered on the people, the Maker, and the Order. The Lord Seeker asks that you perform the rite, so he may see the order in which you honor them.
What if I fail?
Well, there's no correct answer. The ritual simply shows Watchers who you are and what you value.
Fancy title aside, I don't actually command the Inquisition.
That doesn't seem to matter. The Lord Seeker changed everything to meet you. Not the Inquisition. You. By name.
Why?
I don't know. He's been fixated on you ever since your horde of nobles arrived.
The Lord Seeker makes us shuffle flags around. Refuse! Let's meet the man already.
The Lord Seeker can't delay any longer, Barris. Take us to him.
The Lord Seeker's request about the rituals was...
Horseshit, my servants might say. Making you, and by extension me, do this busy work.
Right. The Lord Seeker can deal with this. Follow me.
It's necessary, you know. You don't run a battlefield by committee.
Without faith, you've no knights. You've... Knight Captain.
You were expecting the Lord Seeker. He sent me to die for you.
He is not well.
Knight Captain Denham, I brought the Inquisition's representatives. Will the Lord Seeker not see them?
So, this is the Herald of Change. You are why everything must be moved ahead.
Knight Captain Denham, I am expected by the Lord Seeker. Where is he?
Watching. Changing everything. The Lord Seeker had a plan, but the Herald ruined it by arriving with purpose. It sowed too much dissent.
Knight Captain, I must know what's going on.
You are all supposed to be changed. Now we must purge the questioning knights. The Elder One is coming. No one will leave Ferenfar who is not stained red.
Maker's breath.
Sir Barris, what went on here?
Knight Captain Denham told us the Knight Vigilant died at the Conclave. Our officers hid the murder. Did they manipulate us for this Elder One bullshit the Knight Captain screamed about?
If the Lord Seeker and Knight Captain are compromised, who now leads you?
Officers across Thedas. How many have fallen to this madness, I don't know. How long was this planned? How long has this lie poisoned us?
Do you know anything about this Elder One?
No. Templars serve the Maker and the Light of Andraste. I'd never heard of an Elder One before the Knight Captain began ranting.
Why aren't all the Templars corrupted? Why are you alive?
The Knight Captain said he was trying to change us all. Nothing in this makes sense.
We'll find out what's going on. Let's move.
We're owed an explanation. The dead are owed more.
Is this shape useful? Will it let me know you? Everything tells me about you. So will this. Watch.
Are you trying to tempt me or copy me?
Are you trying to copy me? Being you will be so much more interesting than being the Lord Seeker. Do you know what the Inquisition can become? You'll see. When I'm done, the Elder One will kill you and ascend. Then I will be you.
The Elder One thinks he can become divine. That's the oldest conceit of mortals.
He knows. He was there. Glory is coming. And the Elder One wants you to serve him like everyone else. By dying in the right way.
Keep talking then.
I am not your toy. I am Envy, and I will know you. Tell me, Herald, in your mind. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you feel.
Tell me what you see.
Wait. Envy is hurting you. Mirrors on memories. A face it can feel but not fake. I want to help. You, not Envy.
Who are you? I've seen you before. Have I?
I've been watching. I'm Cole. We're inside you. Or I am. You're always inside you. It's easy to hear, harder to be a part of what you're hearing. But I'm here, hearing, helping, I hope. Envy hurt you, is hurting you. I tried to help, then I was here, in the hearing. It's not usually like this.
If you can explain this, I'm listening.
I was watching. I watch. Every Templar knew when you arrived. They were impressed, but not like the Lord Seeker.
The Lord Seeker is an envy demon. It wants to be me.
Yes. It twisted the commanders, forced their fury, their fight. They're red inside. Anyway, you're frozen. Envy is trying to take your face. I heard it and reached out. And then in. And then I was here.
How is my body frozen back in the waking world?
Thoughts are fast. We're here. Outside, a blade is still falling, hanging in the air like a sunset.
If no time's passing, does that mean I'm safe?
No. It would be good if you got out.
So you're a spying phantom who accidentally enters minds? That says spirits to me.
If it bothers you, I can make you forget. That helps. No. You need all of you right now to fight. Maybe later.
All right, Cole. Can I get out the way you got in?
Yes, but I think you would die. It's your head. You shouldn't be out of it.
Then how do I evict everyone else?
All of this is envy. People, places, power. If you keep going, envy stretches. It takes strength to make more. Being one person is hard. Being many, too many, more and more, and envy breaks down. You break out.
So, if we keep moving in my head, we tire envy into submission.
Maybe. I hope it helps. It's more than sitting here waiting to lose your face.
Unfair! Unfair! That thing came
kept you whole, kept you from giving me your sheep! What could you gain from being me?
What could you gain? What? Ah! We'll start again. More pain this time. The Elder One still comes.
It's frightened of you.
Get out of...
The Lord Seeker!
No, an imposter.
That monster ensured we weren't prepared. I still don't know what we're up against.
Did anyone else see a young man appear beside me?
What young man?
Pale, strangely dressed, clearly faint-touched.
I saw no one. The Lord Seeker was alone when you revealed his true nature.
I'm sorry. An envy demon replaced the Lord Seeker.
Envy? Maker. And the real Lord Seeker is caged or dead. And my captain knew. It's the Red Lyrium, isn't it? I knew that wretched stuff was risky. They often give us new kinds of lyrium, our commanders. Some use the red stuff first to prove it was harmless. The Knights would have been next. That demon turned our leaders so we couldn't question when this started.
Then your leaders all but corrupted the Templars for the demon.
Then we will fix it. Templar, what is envy?
A coward, brother!
It studies, makes less mistakes, but most of all, it hides.
We need our veterans. Our commanders have turned, but the lieutenants may still be fighting. We'll hold the hall. You find the lieutenants and the uncorrupted lyrium stores. Bring them here, and I'll give you envy. Show those things no mercy.
What's the plan, Sabaris?
Envy's rare. Rank and file aren't trained for that. That's why it took us top down. But there's a few left who can handle it. Veterans. Bring them here. With them and enough normal lyrium, we can punch a hole in that barrier.
Good to know there are some of you left. That means your order can be saved.
Whatever. You make it so we can kill that thing, I'm happy. Some sanity remains. Good. We need them to have their wits.
Envy claimed to serve the Elder One, just like your Knight Captain.
Maybe it's to do with the war with the mages, but... I don't know anymore. This is all above me. But bring me the tools, and I'll stand to the last.
When did the Lord Seeker start taking over?
I'm shamed, whatever I say. If he was fake at the start, we let a demon walk in. If he was genuine, Envy took the Lord Seeker from under our noses. Who knows how long the Knight Vigilant has been dead. The Knight Captain relayed his orders.
I need to understand how you could accept the use of corrupted lyrium.
We didn't know it was corrupted. The Lord Seeker only said it was better than Chantry lyrium.
That's it.
You have to understand. All magic is corruptible. All magic is dangerous, and yet all magic can serve. The Red Lyrium was just a tool. So we thought.
The Elder One wants her dead. Empress Celine. He hates her, haunts her, wants her dead, but hides. Why? He hid other things too.
Right. Keep them off us! We'll break this beast!
Now I know one.
Dark and desperate. Death to make yourself alive. I used to be like you. I'm not anymore. You shouldn't be either.
Herald, I sincerely apologize for losing countenance amidst the chaos. That was unfortunate. I do hope it won't affect our concord.
It's valued as ever.
As you say.
The demon is dead. Andraste be praised. She shielded you from its touch. We've numbers across Thedas, but we let this happen. Our officers either failed to see it, or were complicit. The Templars are ready to hear what the Inquisition needs of us.
You need to hear this, to feel the truth in your hearts. I am the will of Our Lady Manifest. I am the Herald of Andraste. She sent me to remind you of your sacred duty, a shield against dark magic. Knights who will end the breach.
We will not deny Our Lady's will. Not anymore. But the Order is leaderless, gutted by betrayal. We must rebuild it.
Your order is a symbol that holds the people's respect. That cannot die today. We offer you an alliance. Supplies, weapons, grounds to shelter you. All we ask is you help us close the breach.
Do we take the Inquisition's terms, brothers and sisters? The Templars will come. I hope your stronghold is ready.
We'll be ready for anyone willing to throw their hat in with us.
What you found in the captain's quarters means the officers willingly blighted half their knights with red lyrium.
Even before some of them realized the Lord Seeker was replaced by a demon.
Which put us in a position to demand more from our alliance. You should have consulted us first.
The uncorrupted Templars fought against Envy. We need them.
An alliance with the Templars was our desired outcome. May we discuss their imminent arrival?
A few dozen veterans are coming ahead of the rest to help seal the breach.
How soon until these veterans arrive?
They're almost here. Templars don't like to be late.
Wait!
I came with you to help. I would have told you before, but you were busy.
That's fine, Cole. You just startled us, appearing out of thin air.
I wasn't air. I was here. You didn't see me. Most people don't until I let them.
Call the guards. This creature is not what you...
A moment, please, Cassandra. I would like to hear why he came.
You help people. You made them safe when they would have died. I want to do that. I can help.
Why and how would you help the Inquisition?
The hole in the sky is too loud for spirits to think. It's pulling, pushing out pain. I want to stop it.
How altruistic of you.
I want to help. I can be hard to see. I can kill things that would hurt people. I won't get in the way.
Cole saved my life in Theronfall. I couldn't have defeated Envy without him.
But what does he want now?
I think he really is trying to help.
I won't be in the way. Tiny, no trouble, no notice taken unless you want them to.
You're not honestly suggesting we give him run of the camp?
Not freely, perhaps, but it seems a waste to... Hold on.
Where did he go?
I'm sure we'll find him somewhere. Yes, we must make sure of that. I'll have people watch the boy. But let's not be distracted from the breach.
We'll need your help when the Templar veterans arrive. Take time to prepare while you can.
I'll take my leave. Good day.
Who is she, Ambassador?
A merchant. I thought we should reach out to the dwarves to secure lyrium for the Inquisition's Templars. According to Lady Corpin, it raised the ire of the Chantry.
How?
Access to lyrium makes us rather more formidable than I anticipated. We're becoming a challenge. Sadly, the remaining Grand Clerics appear to be consolidating the Chantry's power, instead of comforting the masses.
The Chantry should be a place of hope, not another group scrambling for answers.
That must be its strength again. The Chant did much to bridge nations. Little but the Chantry ties Orlais, Nevarra, Ferelden, Antiva, and even Rivain to a common cause.
Has the Chantry truly promoted such peace?
Andraste's chant is familiar across kingdoms, a source of many shared customs. That is the crucial point. Common ground is the start of all negotiations.
I suppose a shared faith can be useful when talking with strangers.
Precisely. And these similar interests are merely where we begin. We must learn to think beyond our own wants, to secure peace in Thedas.
Planning to steer the history of the world, Ambassador Montillier?
I believe the Inquisition is already charting that course. Which brings me to a question, if you have a moment. The remaining Grand Clerics sent a missive inquiring about the events at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. They demand to know whether the Inquisition officially claims that Andraste saved you from the breach. If it were up to you, how would you reply?
I'd tell the Chantry that Andraste herself shielded me from harm.
I'd truly like to hear the debates that would raise in Val Royeaux. Thank you for your thoughts. A good day to you.
You took in the Templars. You let them stay in strength, even after what they did. Their own people. It's dangerous when too many men in the same armor think they're right. You should prepare. It's already getting louder.
What's going to be loud?
I don't know, but there are echoes rushing back across us, ripples in a pond from a stone, but backward. But first, you seal it. I hope it hurts less. I'll help if I can, but I don't always say it right.
You helped me at the Seeker Fortress. Say it however you like.
I helped. It's good to hear. I will try.
I'd like to talk with you about Templars.
They're heavy with forgotten songs, like Varric. Some of them are too loud. It's hard to stay near them. Cullen is softer, but demons asked questions that hurt him. Evangeline was kinder. I want to explain, but Reese's mother spoke to spirits, but not to him. Then she died for a Templar he loved. Words just bounce off the edges.
What's your general opinion of Templars?
Some like hurting mages. It makes them happy, or less afraid, or dreams again. Woke up shaking, stalking the ground for one who looks like her. Always some rule being broken. But not all Templars listen when whispers crawl around inside them. They try to protect people, like Cullen. The good ones remember that mages are people.
Can you tell me more about how the Templars feel to you?
They feel older than they look. They've been changed, and their bodies are incomplete now. The lyrium helps, but their bodies always want to connect to something older, bigger than they are. That's why they block magic. They reach for that other thing, and magic has no room to come in. Like when I listen to Varric.
Can you tell me more about how the Red Templars are different?
The Red Lyrium is different, darker,
daggers under the skin. It eats you inside until you're nothing. They hear a different song. The song behind the door old whispers won't open. They are dead and dark and done.
I'll talk to you later.
Probably.
Cole, or whatever he calls himself, may have helped at Theronfall, but that doesn't mean we should trust him.
I will vouch for Cole's character. Give him a chance.
I'd rather he keep away from me. I suppose my concerns can wait. We must focus on the breach. The Templars are making final preparations. After what happened with the Lord Seeker, they're eager to prove themselves.
After what I went through to get them, they'd better be.
What happened at Theronfall was appalling. To have a demon manipulate your mind. It takes a strong person to walk away from that. It's good to see you well.
Something must be done, immediately.
Nothing will be done.
Commander Cullen said the same thing. It's an outrage. There are mages here we know are guilty of heinous crimes. You would let that pass?
Yes, as will you. We are not here to coddle the Order. You are an ally. Act like one.
How are we supposed to...
Deal with it. It never ends, evidently.
Is there an issue with the Templars? Can I help?
The Templars need to learn they have other uses than hunting mages. It's not easy for them. It is your doing, after all. You created this alliance.
Well, I hope it works. What other choice do we have?
Oh. I do sound like I'm blaming you, don't I? I don't disapprove. In fact, you did well. You made a decision when it needed to be made. And here we are. I wish I could say this was my doing.
We wouldn't be here at all if you hadn't stood up against the Chantry.
You're being kind.
You're discounting your role in this.
Let's close the breach. Then we can say how successful I was.
Heard there was a big demon at the Seeker Fortress. Gotta say, I don't mind missing that. Getting into your head. Messing around.
What matters is that we defeated it and brought the Templars to our side.
With all these damn demons popping up, I guess we need the help. Anyway, with the Templars on board, hopefully we can close that breach. Damn thing gives me a headache just looking at it.
We got the Templars on our side. Glad to hear it. I'll keep the charges at a respectful distance. Not that the Chief has any apostates in the group.
Can you think of any other tasks suitable for the Chargers?
We don't have much information about what's happening in Redcliffe's castle now that the mages have gone silent. I could have some of the boys poke around. If nothing else, we get a better look at the land.
I'd like to know more about the Iron Bull.
The Chief. Last time I met him, he saved my life. I never thought I'd work for Canary, but he grows on you. He's not like any commander I've ever worked for. That's for damn sure.
How's Iron Bull as a commander?
If you know what you're doing and hold up your end, he's easy. He doesn't accept any less. If he keeps us alive, he leads from the front, and if you've an idea that'll win the fight, he listens. I've seen bands whose captains had to prove they were swinging the biggest sword. Bull isn't like that. The Chargers might give him more lip than you'd expect, but every one of us would lay down our lives for the big ass.
How did a Tevinter soldier wind up in a Kunari spy's mercenary company?
I wasn't a soldier at the time. I was in some trouble, trying to flee Tevinter. A Tribune and his men caught me in a border town tavern. They meant to make an example of me. Bull killed them. Gave up his eye doing it. Patched me up and asked if I was looking for work. I've been putting up with his jokes ever since.
That's how he lost the eye?
Yes. The guards had me on the tavern floor when Bull came inside and yelled for them to stop. One of them saw trouble coming and figured he'd finish me off. The guard had a flare. Bull put himself between me and the blow. Big-horned idiot. Didn't even know me.
Is it strange to work for a Kunari?
He hasn't tried to convert us to the Qun, if that's what you're asking. Bull's charges don't care who you light a candle for, so long as your shield stays up. If he hadn't told me he was Ben Hasroth, I'd have thought he'd left that life behind.
I didn't expect he'd tell you all that he was a spy.
Not the whole band, but those who've been around long enough to trust. He figures most of us would find out sooner or later, and it should come from him. Eyes to eye, he says. It's never messed up a job. He just writes letters back home. Lots of the boys write letters back home.
We'll talk later.
So, the Templars joined the Inquisition. Even with Cullen here, I never thought that would happen. Of course, after Kirkwall, I never thought anyone would use red lyrium on purpose either. The Templars should know better than anyone what that shit does to people. Finding more of it really punches a hole in my red lyrium at the temple was a coincidence theory.
How long does it take for red lyrium to grow? How fast can it spread?
It took years to infect people in Kirkwall, but no one there was actually ingesting the stuff. This Elder One managed to take the worst thing I can think of and make it worse. That's an accomplishment.
The Inquisition has the numbers to track down all this lyrium and destroy it.
I hope so. I don't want to think about what happens if it starts a plague. I've got people trying to find out where the red stuff came from. I think maybe we should make that a priority. But that's enough doom and gloom. You just won a big victory for the Inquisition. What are you going to do to celebrate?
After what just happened, I hardly feel like we won anything.
We're just getting started. You can't win a war in a day. Things should be calm around here for at least the next hour. Take a moment to enjoy it. If the world's about to end, I'm sure the Seeker will let us know.
Templars filling up the place.
Best of the polished helms come to save us.
Good partners, I suppose, if they decide to stay and do what they're told. Seem to have a problem with that.
We need their special talents. Only they are up to the task.
I agree, right? Shove them right up there. Just watch while you do it, that's all. It is good that you salvaged as many Templars as you did, my dear. We will need every Templar, but they will require proper management. We also need to increase our lyrium supplies considerably. The Chantry may still have stockpiles we can use.
I'm not enabling these addicts. We'll cut them off.
How noble of you to recruit the Templars only to leave them fevered and powerless in camp. The breach has done more than disfigure the sky. The veil itself is broken. All mages, no matter how skilled, are now in danger of drawing demons to them. Before this crisis is over, you may find that Templars, flawed as they may be, are all that stand between us and chaos.
You have a low opinion of your fellow mages.
It's not a matter of opinion, my dear. I have a close relationship with reality. Many of our colleagues do not. Magic is dangerous, just as fire is dangerous. Anyone who forgets this truth gets burned.
I don't think the mages of the Imperium would agree with you.
Drunkards rarely agree that they ought to stop drinking. I wouldn't use them as role models. Do you know how young mages are found? A little girl has a nightmare, and in her sleep, she burns her house down. A teenage boy has a fit, and lightning rips his mother to pieces. You know how these stories go. Perhaps you lived one. People don't learn the fear of magic at Chantry services, my dear. They learn it from us. Tell me something. As you will no doubt have a hand in shaping it, what future do you see for mages?
Mages shouldn't be kept out of the Chantry. Who knows the dangers of magic better than a mage?
A curious idea. Such twists and turns your mind takes. It's something to consider, my dear.
So the Templars will put their powers to use, sealing the breach. Any group corrupted by a demon must be watched carefully. At least they know how to fight.
We can't afford to be picky about our allies.
Point taken. Just remember, an enemy can attack, but only an ally can betray you. Betrayal is always worse. Speaking of which, you should ready yourself.
For?
This Elder One. You have now interfered with his plans twice. Once at the Temple of Sacred Ashes, and now again with the Templars. A being who aspires to godhood is unlikely to ignore such an affront.
Of all the things in the world, a demon who wears someone's face. I imagine it makes trusting others risky.
Without trust, how would we build alliances or friendships?
It's easy to speak well of trust when yours has never been misplaced.
What do you think of the Inquisition?
I expected more. More men, better equipment. You may have Andraste's favor, but wars are won by men, soldiers.
Avoiding war altogether would be ideal.
True enough. Still, it never hurts to be prepared. One thing I will say about your men, they're passionate, devoted. You inspire them. Build on that foundation, and you will have an army that makes nations tremble.
We should return to our duties.
As you wish. You are, after all, in charge.
Templars!
Focus past the Herald. Let her will draw from you.
Did it. Solus confirms the heavens are scarred but calm. The breach is sealed. We've reports of lingering rifts, and many questions remain. But this was a victory. Word of your heroism has spread.
Don't they know I fell into this? Almost literally.
Perhaps you're too close to judge. We needed you. We still do. We've yet to discover how the breach came to be. And that is only the most conspicuous of our troubles. Strange days, and more to come.
Forces approaching! To arms!
What the? We must get to the gates! Cullen?
One watchguard reporting. It's a massive force, the bulk over
Under
the mountain.
what banner?
None.
None?
If someone could open this, I'd appreciate it.
I'm here to warn you. Fashionably late, I'm afraid. Might exhausted. Don't mind me. There you are. I came to tell you what happened with the mages at Redcliffe. You're not going to like it. They are under the command of the Venatori, in service to something called the Elder One. The woman is Calpurnia. She commands the Venatori. That.
The Elder One. They were already marching on Haven. I risked my life to get here first.
Cullen, give me a plan. Anything.
Haven is no fortress. If we are to withstand this monster, we must control the battle. Get out there and hit that force. Use everything you can. Soldiers, gather the villagers! Fortify and watch for advanced forces! Inquisition! With the Herald! For your lives! For all of us! Move it! Move it! We need everyone back to the Chantry. It's the only building that might hold against that beast. At this point, just make them work for it.
Move! Keep going! The Chantry is your shelter!
A brave man. He stood against a Venatori.
Briefly, I am no Templar.
Herald, our position is not good. That dragon stole back any time you might have earned us. There has been no communication, no demands. Only advance after advance.
There was no bargaining with the mages either. This Elder One takes what it wants. From what I gathered in Redcliffe, it marched all of this way to take your herald.
If you have any idea why he's after me, I'm all ears.
Besides taking the Templars, I've no idea what would incur this much wrath. And such a promising start with the landslide. If only trebuchets remained an option.
They are. If we turn the last of them to the mountains above us.
We're overrun. To hit the enemy, we'd bury Haven.
This is not survivable now. The only choice left is how spitefully we end this.
Well, that's not acceptable. I didn't race here only to have you drop rocks on my head.
Should we submit? Let him kill us?
Dying is typically a last resort, not first. For a Templar, you think like a blood mage.
There is a path. You wouldn't know it was there unless you'd made the summer pilgrimage, as I have. The people can escape. She must have shown me. Andraste must have shown me so I could tell you.
I can bury an army, stop them from following. But that thing is flying.
You have been his target since you took the Templars. So long as you're here, the rest may be beneath his notice.
Leaving you no escape. Perhaps you will surprise it. Find a way. Inquisition! Follow Chancellor Roderick through the Chantry. Move!
Herald, if you are meant for this, if the Inquisition is meant for this, I pray for you.
They'll load the trebuchets. Keep the Elder One's attention until we're above the tree line. If we are to have a chance, if you are to have a chance, let that thing hear you.
Move! Now!
Enough! Pretender, you toy with forces beyond your ken. No more.
No more? Why are you doing this? What purpose could this serve?
Because you are my enemy. Because you stand in the way of destined power. Because I can. Know me. Know what you have pretended to be. Exalt the Elder One. The will that is Corypheus. You will kneel.
You must want something. Say it and you'll have it.
I ask for nothing, because it is not in your power to give. But that will not stop me. I am here for the anchor. The process of removing it begins now. It is your fault, Herald. You interrupted a ritual years in the planning, and instead of dying, you stole its purpose. I do not know how you survived, but what marks you as touched, what you flail at rifts, I crafted to assault the very heavens. And you used the anchor to undo my work. The gore.
It's a boon from Andraste. She saved my life.
Then your lady wished me to kill you, for her boon is a beacon I cannot let escape. I once breached the Fade in the name of another to serve the old gods of the Empire in person. I found only chaos and corruption, dead whispers. For 1,000 years I was confused, no more. I have gathered the will to return under no name but my own, to champion Wither to Winter and correct this blighted world. Beg that I succeed, for I have seen the throne of the gods, and it was empty. The anchor is permanent. You have spoilt it with your stumbling. So be it. I will begin again. Find another way to give this world the nation and God it requires. And you, I will not suffer even an unknowing rival. You must die.
You expect us to surrender and kneel. We will not. You'll face us all. When we choose!
What would you have me tell them? This isn't what we asked them to do.
We cannot simply ignore this. We must find a way.
And who put you in charge? We need a consensus or we have nothing.
Please, we must use reason. Without the infrastructure of the Inquisition, we're hobbled.
I can't come from nowhere.
She didn't say it could.
Enough! This is getting us nowhere.
Well, we're agreed on that much.
Shh. You need rest.
They've been at it for hours.
They have that luxury thanks to you. The enemy could not follow, and with time to doubt, we turn to blame. Infighting may threaten as much as this Corypheus.
Do we know where Corypheus and his forces are?
We are not sure where we are, which may be why, despite the numbers he still commands, there is no sign of him. That, or you are believed dead. Or without Haven, we are thought helpless. Or he girds for another attack. I cannot claim to know the mind of that creature, only his effect on us.
If they're arguing about what we do next, I need to be there.
Another heated voice won't help. Even yours. Perhaps especially yours. Our leaders struggle because of what we survivors witnessed. We saw our defender stand and fall. And now we have seen her return. The more the enemy is beyond us, the more miraculous your actions appear, and the more our trials seem ordained. That is hard to accept, no? What we have been called to endure, what we perhaps must come to believe.
I escaped the avalanche. Barely, perhaps, but I didn't die.
Of course, and the dead cannot return from across the veil. But the people know what they saw. Or perhaps what they needed to see. The Maker works both in the moment and in how it is remembered. Can we truly know the heavens are not with us?
You saw Corypheus. What do you think of his claims of assaulting the heavens?
Scripture says magisters, to winter servants of false-souled gods, entered the Fade to reach the Golden City, seat of the Maker. For their crime, they were cast out as darkspawn. Their hubris is why we suffer blight, and why the Maker turned from us. If such is the claim of this Corypheus, he is a monster beyond imagining. All mankind continues to suffer for that sin. If even a shred of it is true, all the more reason Andraste would choose someone to rise against him.
Corypheus said he found only corruption and emptiness, nothing golden.
If he entered that place, it has changed him without and within. The living are not meant to make that journey. Perhaps these are lies he must tell himself, rather than accept that he earned the scorn of the Maker. I know I could not bear such.
I know in my heart that I was meant for this, but that didn't help at Haven. I want to believe Andraste is with me, but doubt is everywhere.
Shadows fall and hope has fled. Still your heart, the dawn will come. The night is long and the path is dark. Look to the sky, for one day soon the dawn will come.
The shepherd's lost, and his home is far. Keep to the stars, the dawn will come. The night is long,
and the path is dark. Look to the sky, for one day soon the dawn will come. Bear your blade and raise it high. Stand your ground, the dawn will come. The night is long and the path is dark. Look to the sky, for one day soon the dawn will come.
Faith is made stronger by facing doubt. Untested, it is nothing.
A word. A wise woman, worth heeding. Her kind understand the moments that unify a cause. Or fracture it. The orb Corypheus carried, the power he used against you, it is Elven. Corypheus used the orb to open the breach. Unlocking it must have caused the explosion that destroyed the Conclave. I do not yet know how Corypheus survived, nor am I certain how people will react when they learn of the orb's origin.
All right. What is it and how do you know about it?
They were foci, used to channel ancient magics. I have seen such things in the Fade, old memories of older magic. Corypheus may think it Tevinter. His empire's magic was built on the bones of my people. Knowing or not, he risks our alliance. I cannot allow it.
This whole mess is confusing. I can see how elves might be an easy target.
History would agree. But there are steps we can take to prevent such a distraction. By attacking the Inquisition, Corypheus has changed it. Changed you. Scout to the north. Be their guide. There is a place that waits for a force to hold it. There is a place where the Inquisition can build, grow,